Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Logical Nonsense Podcast, episode 102. We've got a Super Bowl preview for you. We're going to talk about Josh Allen, 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes now in the playoffs, sadly. Superman can only Superman so much. We're also going to talk about how the Eagles just stomped the Commanders, as well as some of the craziest bets you can bet on in the Super Bowl, some keys, and so much more. And just in time, Dodge Matthews joins the podcast. Dodge, welcome. How are we doing today?
Doing good. How are you, Hunter?
Good. Caden, how are we doing?
We're doing great. It's been a while since Dodge and I got on one together, so I'm excited.
I know. Big matchup like the Super Bowl. Gotta have all the boys on. Gotta have all the perspectives on this one. Super excited to break it down with all y'all. So first, let's go back in time. Let's break down the conference championship round. Let's start with the first game of the day, NFC championship game, Eagles versus the Commanders. Obviously, Commanders, they had a great run, rookie QB, came all the way from the wild card. I could be wrong on this, but I believe they were 7th seed and made a conference championship. Didn't work out so well. Some keys that I brought out before that conference championship game, Caden, if you remember, is you can't turn the ball over against the Eagles. They will take advantage of it. That's exactly what happened. 2 huge fumbles that turned into touchdowns. Saquon, first run, I was like, all right, this game's over. The moment I saw that, I was like, yeah, this game's over. So, but yeah, what were you guys' takeaways from this game?
For me, I think this is what we expected kind of to happen in this game. The Commanders are coming off kind of a hangover from beating the Lions. They outperformed that game. They played a damn near perfect game in that one. And then this is just kind of the reality of the NFL for a team that's not really supposed to be there when they play another good team like the Eagles. Well coached. I think this is Kellen Moore's probably best called game offensively for them. Yeah. And the Commanders, like you said, turnovers were lost. They didn't contain Saquon, and they let the Eagles kind of just walk all over them this game.
Totally. Dodge, takeaways for you?
Yeah, really, they just couldn't stop the run, and that's the game for me. I mean, when you can't stop the run, that's going to be unlimited points for the other team. Saquon averaged 8 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That you're not going to win that way. So, I think the Commanders made it farther than anyone had anticipated, and they should be really happy with themselves.
Yeah. One thing I do want to bring out, though, that I feel like isn't getting talked about enough is, Jalen Hurts played really well this game, I thought. He was making really good decisions, and, he finally got the passing game going. There's been a lot of, gripe from the media and fans that the passing game isn't what it should be, especially with having A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And I thought he did a great job of getting everyone involved, keeping that offense flowing, even into the second half. It just felt like they were on the gas pedal the whole game, on both sides of the ball. So I want to give credit to Jalen Hurts because he's somebody that I feel like gets a lot of scrutiny. And, I get it. He's inconsistent, but, I feel like it should go both ways. When he plays good, he should be getting that credit too. And he doesn't a lot of times. It's typically only scrutiny from him. So I do want to give credit to Jalen Hurts. Saquon's a beast. I feel like what he's doing right now is just it's incredible. He's unmatched right now. I'll be curious to see how the Chiefs handle Saquon, and we'll get to that in a second. But I think that's a beast. Still, only one person ever in the conference championship game to get 200 yards. Saquon was not able to do it. He was only on 15 carries, which is a slow day for Saquon, but he really didn't need to do much. So, all right, well, let's go to the other game. Very, very exciting game. Bills versus Chiefs, back and forth. Let's hear your guys' takeaways on this one.
It sucks for Josh Allen, like we were talking about kind of before the pod. Can't get over the hump. For me, I thought this was the year. I thought he was playing at an incredible level, and I thought this was going to be the time for them to finally beat the Chiefs. And, the Chiefs, their defense played pretty well for the most part. They blitzed the whole game. They kept Josh Allen a little bit uncomfortable at times. It kind of limited the play calling they can do. Most plays were runs or like quick passes. So they took away the deep ball aspect for the Bills, and for the Chiefs, they just make plays when they need to. Mahomes on the ground made plays, huge plays. The Bills limited Kelsey, but they couldn't stop the other receivers like Juju. When they needed stops the most, they let guys get wide open.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at like the efficiency of plays and whatnot, the Bills went 5 of 14 on third down. The Chiefs were 5 of 9.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs are keeping themselves out of third down, and then when they are, they're converting them. And Bills in this game, they got to third down a lot, and they didn't convert them very often. Not only that, but then kind of like a show of desperation, but they went for it a lot on fourth down. They went 4 for 6 on fourth down. So, and actually that's a really high percentage, and that does help with, there's a reason why this is a close game. I do feel bad for Josh Allen and the Bills, though, because I also thought this would be their year to get in, and they didn't. The Chiefs find ways to win, and that's what good teams, good coaches, they always accomplish that.
A lot of what felt like, especially in the second half, plays that were just momentum swingers and plays where they needed them and they just weren't able to get them. Feels like we say the same story with the Bills every time, right? Like, if this play would have gone this way or if this play would have gone that way. Obviously there's been a lot, and I mean a lot. There's always talk about the officiating of the game whenever we talk about the Chiefs, right? I'm not even going to go there. I honestly, I feel like as a team, if you're playing the Chiefs, you just have to understand you cannot put yourself in those types of positions. Fourth and short, they were stopping a lot of those Josh Allen tush push, if you will, which, credit to the Chiefs, they game planned for it. They were ready for it, and I think the Chiefs continue to show that they are one of the best teams at watching film, learning from film, and then implementing it really well. And that's exactly what it looked like in this game. I think, the Dalton Kincaid drop that hurt, man. That is a really, really tough catch. And, a lot of people were saying, oh my God, he should have caught that. But it's like, bro, he's diving
I was a little
mid-air.
surprised by the amount of hate he got.
I thought it was stupid. That is not an easy catch, whatsoever. And I love Josh Allen. Was it the best throw? Not really either. But no one's coming at Josh Allen. So, and I'm not hating on Josh Allen either. I'm not saying he's in a tough position as well. So it was just a tough play overall. But I just feel like people need to quit making excuses and just realize the game is. The game is what it is. Does it suck that there are certain calls that could have gone one way or the other? Yes, but there's always going to be calls that could have gone one way or the other. There's always going to be missed calls. And so I just want to bring light to that because I'm kind of tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about the officiating and that type of shit. So the only one, if I'm being honest, that I was like, okay, yeah, this was definitely missed is I thought it was a first down on that fourth down. But that's the only one I could see. Not the only one. I shouldn't say that. But that's one of the bigger ones that I was a little mad about. What do you guys have any thoughts on this?
One thing that irritated me this game is I thought penalty-wise, really, it wasn't that bad in favor of either team, except for the Chiefs players after every play complaining to a ref. They weren't getting the flags, but every play they're looking up, hands in the air. I don't know, that irked me. I also thought the fourth down was a first down just from that overhead camera, but and one ref was on the line, the other was a yard back. So I don't understand why they're so far. And I thought the play before that little screen with Knox, I thought that was a first down. I thought he landed. So, but you can't put yourself in those situations, like you said, for the Bills. I also didn't know if that really was a touchdown catch early in the game. That
it was weird.
That was pretty close.
Really weird play.
Yeah, that was on a third down, but they got the first anyway because there was defensive holding. They probably would have scored, but I don't know. I think another thing is the run game for the Bills with Cook in the second half. It was, when they went down, scored, he was cooking, and then they kind of went away from that and they started using their backups a little bit more than I would have liked to see. I would have liked them to use James Cook a little bit more.
I agree.
In the second half.
Dodge, any thoughts on officiating or any game plan, things like that?
No, I think I'm also tired of hearing about the officiating, especially with regard to the Chiefs. I could kind of see how they didn't give him the first down, which I understand, on the replay.
The controversy and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying oh, he obviously got over. Obviously, I think the announcers were more on the side he got over, but I can understand why it's it's close.
Yeah. It is really close.
So to me, I can understand how they came to the decision of he didn't get past it. And the thing is with the Chiefs, you just never want to be in a close game, and people want to blame the refs, but I'm just going to say that it's the fact that, like you said, this team watches film, this team implements what they see, and they're a good football team. They're well coached. They've been there, they've done that before, they're used to this. They're used to playing close games, and they're used to winning them. So why are we surprised when they do that?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, the Chiefs, they played a really good game, and I actually thought, offensively, Caden, one of your keys last week was play aggressive. I thought they did play a little bit more aggressive than they have been. They were getting the passing game going. Patrick was out of the pocket a lot, I felt like, and I feel like that's a tool that they don't usually use during the regular season. I think that's because of injuries. But when it comes postseason time, you'll see him roll out. You'll see him, go that extra mile to go and extend his legs. And I think he's really smart for doing that. It makes him more of that dual threat. And especially after all regular season, him not really, I would say underutilizing. It's not that he's not using his legs, but he's underutilizing his legs during the season. And so for him to show that weapon again and show people I am a dual threat quarterback again, I think it's not catches teams by surprise, but it definitely is shit, I forgot about that fucker, and freaking Andy Reid and his rollout that he does, it always works. It always works. Third down, fourth down, they need some. That's their go-to play, and it works every time. It feels like. Back to the fourth down stuff and Josh Allen doing tush push and stuff like that. I don't understand why, if it's been stopped, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, why the Bills keep doing it. Was there no backup plan? This is where, a lot of Bills fans don't like Sean McDermott, and I don't necessarily know if I agree with them. He should be fired. Oh, there should be a new coach in there. Because I think overall, Sean McDermott is a above average coach, and I think he is somebody that will get your team deep in the playoffs. He's capable of doing that. I understand why they're pissed. Whatever. But these are the types of plays where I'm yeah, I can see where it gets old, because game plan needs to change, and it doesn't seem like Sean McDermott is one of those people that adjust like an Andy Reid would, or Bill Belichick would. So I hope they can learn from that, because it's kind of getting old to watch. What do you guys think of Sean McDermott? We haven't really talked about him a whole lot on this podcast.
I think he's fine. Like you said, I think he coaches well for the most part, but it's just one of those things where there's always a bigger fish. There's always a better coach he seems to run into. And Andy Reid all the time, and he gets outcoached in big moments like that. But for the most part, I don't think he's a bad coach. I would want him as a coach. Please, the Cowboys could take him.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to the Cowboys anytime soon.
No, I don't think anyone wants to.
I think he's a good coach. I think, they shouldn't be calling for him to be taken away or anything.
Yeah.
People have a lot of controversy about McDermott, but he's a good coach. But I don't know. We've said it already. You run into bigger fish. There are better coaches out there than McDermott. I would say McDermott maybe needs to look at himself and do something different to because it seems like he comes in with the same game plan every year, which is I'm going to do the same thing I've done all year, and then I don't know, maybe throwing in some stuff in there that is super unusual, would be unexpected. Like some trickery.
Totally. Yeah, and I also think there's the argument too is like if you fire Sean McDermott, like who's replacing him? You know what I'm saying? Like
good luck finding better.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck finding better. Like there's such a select pool of really good coaches, and I just don't know if you're gonna find like I think at best, at your best case scenario, you're gonna find neutral of what Sean McDermott can bring you. I don't think you're gonna find better right now. All right, well let's move into some Super Bowl preview stuff. First, let's start with the keys for the Chiefs to win. Keys for the Chiefs to win. I think, like I said, I think Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things. I think he plays similarly to how he played last game in the fact that, he's out utilizing his legs. He's passing the ball. He's being aggressive with the ball again, not causing turnovers, not forcing things. I think that's a huge thing with the Commanders. We saw, like I just said, the Eagles capitalize on turnovers, and I don't think that's going to change in this game. They can't turn the ball over. They have to be in control of this game. They have to control the clock. Do what Andy Reid does, control this game. When you watch Chiefs games, something that's very evident is it always feels like it's in the Chiefs' control. They control momentum. Even if there's a big play, it feels like, oh shit, the Chiefs get the ball again. And what do you know? They wind the clock down. They run the ball. They convert their third downs. They convert fourth downs if necessary, and they score. I think that's exactly what they need to do again. Defensively, some way, somehow, I don't know how the fuck you're going to do it. You got to contain Saquon. I mean, that is a large task. And by containing Saquon, I mean limit him to like maybe 100 yards. Like that would be a good day for the Chiefs, in my opinion. You can't get that running game going. And, I talked about strategizing and watching film and implementing it too. I think that's going to have to be the case here too. You know, put some pressure on Jalen Hurts. Get him. I know the Eagles line is really good, but keep bringing pressure. It'll tire out that line. It'll tire them out. You guys, Chiefs have good DBs. Like it was very evident in this Bills game. The Chiefs have really good DBs. Trust your DBs. Trust your secondary. You guys have guys to get home to the QB. I think bring the pressure to Jalen Hurts. See how he responds. And I think if the Chiefs can control the game, play aggressive on offense, they will win this game and be a three-peat.
I would say it might key the game is even more simple than that, which to me, this is the Chiefs game to lose. Even though I think the Eagles have been the better team throughout the season.
They've got more pressure, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree.
This is the Chiefs game. And I would just say, similar to what you were saying, if you play your game, which is solid defense, we're efficient on offense, they're in good shape to win.
Yep.
Right? And the Eagles do cause a lot of turnovers on defense. And if you stay out of that, then you'll be fine. And that's not really a problem Mahomes has had in the postseason.
No.
There have been regular season games for the past couple seasons where he's had a lot of turnovers, but in the postseason he seems to just find it where he takes what the defense gives him. He's not pushing anything and just plays super efficiently. And like you said, he uses his feet, which he doesn't use in the regular season. So maybe that's also another reason for him not forcing things. So totally. I think the Chiefs, it's simple, but just play your game.
For me, I think the Chiefs are going to run into a really good D-line that the Eagles have. So protection of Mahomes is important. Early downs, getting yourself in second and manageables is important for them. Being able to check Mahomes. And then I think getting Kelsey the ball early is going to be key for them. You saw last game and in a couple of their games this year when he doesn't get the ball early, he's had a lot of games where he only ends up with 2-3 catches. Like in the Bills game, he only had 2. And I think the Eagles secondary is strong enough where some of those other guys might not be able to beat you, and you're going to need a guy like Kelsey the whole game for this one. So I can see that being an offensive key. Defensively, like we said, containing Saquon, do what you have to do, but be ready for a curveball from the Eagles. They adjust well to their opponents. Get Hurts flustered, make him turn the ball over. He's been, pretty set the last couple of weeks in the playoffs, end of the regular season. He's been in a good rhythm. So getting him off that rhythm is going to be important for the Chiefs.
I think if anyone's going to be able to contain Saquon, like I'd say the Chiefs have a decent shot at it because they're going to control the ball on offense, limit the amount of possessions the Eagles have. And the Chiefs do have a good defense. So,
yeah,
especially when it comes to like Ben not breaking, they are really good at not breaking. So, definitely. I mean, Saquon can run for 200 yards, but if the Eagles are just getting field goals, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree, and I like the pass protection point too. I think that's going to be a huge key for Patrick Mahomes because Jalen Carter can be a fucking beast, man. He's nuts. So, and that secondary is really good too. So, I think in terms of like evenness and matchup, I think this is a really, really even matchup. I really like this matchup here. Keys for the Eagles.
For the Eagles, I think I kind of said in the last one, but having a backup plan if Saquon isn't able to get the ball moving offensively, what are you going to do to protect against the blitzes that the Chiefs are going to bring? Because they're going to come and they're going to stack the box and they're going to challenge you one-on-one with A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith. You might have to involve your tight end more underneath, stuff like that. But what will you do if Saquon, has a tough game or has a tough time getting yards? I think the Eagles, like Dodge was saying, you need to score touchdowns when you get into the Chiefs' territory. Field goals will not win you any game against the Chiefs. How are you going to defend against the deep ball, guarding Xavier Worthy? How are you going to guard Kelsey in the middle of the field? And then are you going to be willing to bring blitzes if you're the Eagles? Are you going to try to make Mahomes uncomfortable and be willing to let your guys take one-on-one matchups, or will you play more conservative? For me, I think they need to be aggressive defensively and see where things go.
I like it. Dodge.
I disagree with Caden on playing aggressively on defense. I think Mahomes will just carve up blitz, So I think I would rather let my good D line try and get after it if I'm the Eagles. For the keys on offense, to me, it's let Saquon and Hurts run, right? If that's not working, I wouldn't be surprised if we try and see some deep balls. Like people always talk about the Chiefs deep ball game, but I do think like you have AJ Brown, you have Devonta Smith, and I think it could be and you have Dallas Goedert. Goedert could go up there too. I think it could be somewhat unexpected from the Eagles. Everyone's expecting them to run, but some play action goes. If I'm the Eagles and I make this a sprint, I don't think that's too bad because I haven't seen all year where the Chiefs are necessarily keeping up on offense, and maybe that's a bad game to play. Yeah. Where can the Chiefs put up 50? They used to very often.
Yeah.
But I'd say the Eagles are better at it right now. So that's where I would go on offense. And also I think slowing down the game with the run game from the Eagles, I think that plays kind of in the Chiefs' hands a little bit. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to make it a track meet. And then on defense, I would say any way to get a turnover, but I don't think blitzing's the way to do it. I think Mahomes will just carve up a blitz. So I think Kelsey's really good at finding that spot in a zone blitz too. So I don't like it.
Interesting. We got two different perspectives. That's why I like having you boys on. Keys for the Eagles. I'll start with offense. I like what Dodge is saying. I think they had a really good game plan against Commanders. I think they should have a similar game plan against the Chiefs in the sense that they got started early. They put their foot on the gas pedal. especially through the air. I think that getting your passing game started early will force them to respect your passing game, and in turn will then open up the run for Saquon. And I think that that's going to be huge. If they can get this passing game going without any turnovers, it's going to be huge. I think Goddard's a huge key here. He's been a solid guy all year, and I think he's a weapon that isn't talked about enough, in my opinion. I mean, last game, 7 receptions for 85 yards. Like that's pretty freaking good. And I think he could be a secret weapon. You know, I think the DBs are going to be really focused on AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert is somebody that I think is going to be a pain point for them, and I hope Jalen Hurts can kind of rely on him, especially, you know, those third down and short situations. I think that's the guy I'd be going to at least. And I think that's going to be huge. And, you know, once you get your passing game going, you can get your running game going. And I think if Saquon, you can get him going, get him opportunities, Eagles have a real shot here. Defensively, I don't know. I feel like I see your point, Dodge, about like blitzes and Mahomes, you know, carving up blitzes, but I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle. You know, I think because I do think there needs to be pressure, and I think there's a way you can do it though while also containing him. I don't know when. I don't know if it's second half. I don't know if it's first half, but I do think there needs to be a point in the game where they ramp it up heavy. You know, maybe they dial it back at some points of the game, and you know, but I think the biggest thing on defense is keep Mahomes guessing. I know that's hard to do. I know that's a hard thing to do and a tough thing to say on this podcast, but that's like the biggest thing I can try to say. And what I'm trying to, and my point is keep him guessing. Don't let him think, you know, you're blitzing all the time or, you know, you're being conservative. Oh, we're only sending 4. Keep him guessing. You know, I think that'll be huge. And I think they're capable of it. Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator is a solid defensive coordinator in my opinion. Not a good head coach. I've experienced that. But as a defensive coordinator, he's solid. I think he can bring something that has a chance to at least contain the Chiefs offense and because I really do think they can lock up a lot of their weapons for wide receivers. Nobody really scares me in their receiving core like scary. I know they're capable of being scary, but defensively, I think their secondary can match up. But Kelsey is a huge key. They got to shut down Kelsey, like you said. You know, key for Chiefs getting Kelsey involved. They got to shut down Kelsey. They got to eliminate that kind of safety valve, if you will, for Mahomes. So those are my keys for the Eagles.
I think the Eagles defensively can match up with the Chiefs offensively really well, actually. And that's why I think I'd rather remain in more base stuff than trying to come after. I also think blitzing can kind of lead to Mahomes getting out of the pocket more and using his feet where it can be more dangerous.
You don't think he'll do that if they're conservative either? Like I don't know. If I have DBs back, I don't know. I feel like he can still get out. I don't know.
I would debate putting a spy on him. And the reason is because 90% of the time it won't matter, right? But it's that 10% of the time that's always crucial.
Yeah.
He uses his feet in very crucial moments of the game, and he picks up that first down.
Yep.
And so, I don't know. I think that's why I would keep it. I think I think the Eagles on offense is like there's more keys to the game for me on them on offense. Because they have to be able to score touchdowns.
Definitely.
And I think opening up the passing game like we talked about, the deep balls even, especially so, I think that can also lead itself to not having to be so efficient in the red zone.
Yeah.
We talk about bend don't break defenses from the Chiefs, but I think it's easier to break when you have more room.
Yeah.
Right. So when you get down into the red zone, it's just harder to break, and the Chiefs are really good at it. So.
Yep. Caden, you want to defend your aggressive statement? Give you one last chance.
Yeah, well, by aggressive, like I'm not saying send 7, every time. I think, but stunts, 5s, just mix it up. Because I don't know. We've seen Mahomes carve everything you've thrown at him. If you bring 7, if you bring 4, and I just feel confident that the Eagles corners can play, 1-on-1, and I just feel like you need to just bring a little bit of heat. I feel confident on the outside. The middle of the field is more of my concern for the Eagles, which blitzing, linebackers does open that up. Yeah, which I see, but I don't. I feel like you gotta keep Mahomes at least guessing if a blitz is coming or not.
Yeah. Okay. I think like we're all like in a similar area. We're just like saying it somewhat different ways. Some people a little bit more aggressive, some people a little bit more conservative. I'm somewhere in the middle, so I like it. All right, well let's play a little legacy game. We kind of talked about this last year. If this person were to win, what's his legacy? Mahomes. If he wins this Super Bowl, it'll be his 4th Super Bowl. First three-peat of all time. What is his legacy? Is he greatest quarterback of all time yet? If he wins.
What do you mean yet? What was that last yet?
What I mean by yet is like, is he there yet? Is he the GOAT yet? Like, if he wins, is he there yet?
Well, he'd be what, 4-2 in Super Bowls? Is that right? He's been to the last 6. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this 6 in a row?
No. He lost to the Bengals in the championship.
Oh, that's right.
Has he been to 6 Super Bowls? I think he's only been to 5.
No, he's only lost 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it was only to Brady. That's the only one I can remember him losing. It's just kind of funny.
Dang, that's true. Yeah, no, we talked about that last time. People are always going to say that Brady's better because he beat him.
I've seen comments of that coming up, which is really interesting.
But oh shoot, 4. Brady had 7.
First ever three-peat. If he wins.
No. He's not the GOAT yet. He could be in the future if he wins, but the reason why it's not the GOAT status yet is because one thing I'll give credit to Brady, he did it on 2 different teams. He did it with 2 different coaches, right?
Yep.
This might be the greatest dynasty, like talking about Chiefs dynasty if they 3-peat. I think that's a really good argument, right? We're talking about Andy Reid. Andy Reid's legacy's got to be talked about too.
We're talking about it. We're talking about it later. That's coming soon.
But
to ears near you.
But yeah, Mahomes' legacy, he's not yet the GOAT, but he's probably second.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
How old is he? He's not even that old.
It's probably like 28. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I was going to say
looking it up.
29. Super talented quarterback, right? So I've always said I think Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen, and Patrick Mahomes is second. But I also,
yeah.
I don't know. After last few seasons of Rodgers, it's hard to say that. Of course, Mahomes in the regular season hasn't necessarily looked like the best of all time either, greatest of all time. So no, I don't think he's the GOAT.
Kaden, what about you?
I agree with Dodge on that, but I think it's also we're looking at a whole career versus Mahomes through 7 or 8 seasons, and he's been to the last 7 AFC championship games, which is ridiculous, and made the Super Bowl in 5 of them, which is crazy. But I think like through this age, I think they both have 3 Super Bowl wins before this game. So if Mahomes does win this one and they 3-peat, I think he has more Super Bowls through like the age of 29 or 30, which, if you're comparing them at that point, then I think there's an argument where you could say
maybe on pace.
On through that point, Mahomes has a better career through that point. But all time, Brady's still the GOAT, and he's proved it. Dominant regular season, dominant in the playoffs. But Mahomes is on pace to catch.
Yeah. No, I agree with both of you. I don't think even if he wins, he is the GOAT yet. But I do think it's the greatest start we've ever seen to a quarterback's career. If he wins, 4 Super Bowls.
Even if he loses, arguably that's.
I would say, yeah. I mean, that's a great point too. Even if he loses, you can make the argument that he's had the greatest start ever. I mean, the fucking crazy 5 Super Bowls, and does he have 1 or 2 MVPs? Does anyone know that? I think he has 2.
You think he has 2?
Curious. Yeah, because he won it in 2020 or 2021. Somebody look that up. But anyways, I think it's probably
2018 and 2022.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I think it's the greatest start we've ever seen to a quarterback's career. And I feel pretty good with that statement. I definitely think there's a chance he catches up. I think the only weird there's some weird things that'll come into play. We talked about the Super Bowl against those two head to head, which I think that'll always come up in conversation from forever. I do think it'll be interesting to see if he ever gets like 7. That's like an insane number. 7 Super Bowls. That's pretty insane.
Do you think he needs 7?
7?
I'm not sure that he needs 7. I think even if he has 5 or 6, you could slide him ahead depending on.
I think it also comes down to like
factors.
Like, does he need to break records? Like, does he need to break like a passing yards record or like a passing touchdowns record, or like will his just legacy like speak for itself? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Do you guys think he needs to break records?
Yeah. I think he needs to kind of break records because Brady has the records. So it's kind of like we're really going to say that he's better than Brady when he lost to Brady. And let's say he has less Super Bowls than Brady and he's not breaking his records.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of putting down. Now, if Mahomes wins 8 Super Bowls, then that argument is the same thing as when Brady had more Super Bowls than Manning, but had less records, like for those couple years there in between. But I don't think Mahomes needs 7, but he needs to break some records to do it.
Fuck. Oh man, I don't know. At first, I was like, no, I don't think he needs to break records, but that's a good point. That Brady has all of them, but Brady also played forever, so I want to see how many seasons.
Mahomes I was going to say,
that's
does Mahomes need to play as many seasons too? That was my next question.
Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, it's such a long career.
That's part of the greatness.
I know
that longevity is
good. He played good for so long, but I don't know. But when you watch Mahomes play, right, it's just like he elevates everyone. So does Brady. Like, I can't really take that. I don't know. I think the Super Bowls are going to be the biggest indicator for me. Comes down to it. Fuck.
It'll be. I mean, it's going to be so interesting. There's so many things to compare. I think. Again, it's in similar parallels. I mean, we'll see if it even comes to this, but I could see similar parallels, obviously, to Jordan LeBron debate. You know, what do you if he wins this? There could be talks of what do you value more, dominance or sustained excellence for a long period of time.
Yeah. So
I mean,
dominance
again,
would be Mahomes. Dominance would be Mahomes there.
What?
Dominance would be Mahomes.
Yes, but again, I still think he needs more. No. Just let me finish. I still think there needs to be more dominance. Like, I don't think this is it. Like, even if he wins this, I don't think you can make that argument yet. But like, if he were to continue to dominate, like, let's say he goes on a 4 or 5 peat. Not saying that's gonna happen. I swear to fucking God, I'll lose myself if he goes on a 4 or 5 peat. But if let's say he 5 peat, like we're doing what if situations now. Let's say he 5 peated, retires. Okay, that is the most dominant stretch we've ever seen, right? That's where I would say then you can make those parallels.
Yeah, I could see it.
So that was my point. But okay, well let's go. Let's move on. We could talk about Mahomes' legacy for a long time. Let's move on to the other quarterback here, Hurts' legacy. If he wins, what's his legacy now? Do the critics go away or do they just continue?
No, the critics aren't going away.
Nope.
Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, like No, the that's only one. I mean, to be honest, let's look at Russell Wilson for a second.
Yeah.
Right? He had one really early on, and people thought like, wow, I mean, look how good the Seahawks were then, right?
Yeah.
And people thought for sure he's going to have multiple and still be young and then just maybe win some more when he gets older, right? I mean, he was on the winning path for a while there. He was like the most winning quarterback in his first 6 seasons or something like that. And now he's still stuck at 1.
Yeah.
So,
do you think he at least gets more respect though?
Slightly. I think really if Hurts wanted to see the respect really jump, it'd be like a second one.
Okay.
Yep. I agree. I don't think the critics will silence because I think if they win, it'll probably be, oh, Saquon joined the team. And look where you guys got elevated to. This is Saquon Super Bowl, not Hurts. You were kind of in the background managing the game, not really dominating the game like other quarterbacks do. But I don't think it hurts if you lose. It doesn't. Like, you played the Chiefs. So
doesn't hurt if you lose.
Yeah. I don't, he's still young. He still has a lot of seasons left too. So a loss, it doesn't really affect the legacy too much, but a win, it's nice to have, obviously, but I don't think it really elevates him that much yet in his career.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I see your guys' points. I feel like it at least puts him on in somewhat different conversation. I don't know, like the respect I think is somewhat there. Maybe not from Philly fans because Philly fans are weird as fuck, but at least from other fans, I think people look at him a little differently. Like, you took down Mahomes, bro. Like, that's like, regardless if it's a team effort or not, like that's a big feat as a QB. The only other person to do it is Tom Brady. So I think when you put it in that perspective, like, you got to give him a little bit more respect if he wins this game. If he loses, I think the critics come down way harder, and that's unfortunate. Like, I think it's a big loss for Hurts if he loses. I just feel like people are going to be coming at his head and Sirianni's head, and I don't know if it's warranted. Like, I'm playing the fucking Chiefs, man. Like, but yeah. All right. Speaking of Sirianni, let's talk about Nick Sirianni's legacy. If he wins and if he loses, Sirianni has coached the Eagles for 4 years and he's brought them to 2 Super Bowls. I'd just like to say that to start off with. People way overhate on this guy, in my opinion. Like, way overhate on him. Like, I actually don't think he's a bad coach whatsoever. I think he's very smart in who he picks as coordinators as well. I like Kellen Moore. I like Vic Fangio as coordinators. And I think alone with that, I don't know how much I think he has to have some sort of say in the fucking coordinator hiring, right? So I think that alone is huge. I think managing a Philly fan base, which I feel like is just never satisfied, also is hard. And for him to continue to deliver through that and deliver them to 2 Super Bowls. And also another thing I want to bring to Sirianni's point too is they started off the year really weird. Like, they weren't playing very good. You know, they were winning games, but they weren't really winning them like how they should have been. They really turned it around and really turned on the Jets. And I want to give Sirianni credit for that because that's really hard to kind of change your team around like that. There's been a lot of locker room talk, and you can blame that on the coach, you can blame that on whatever. But again, managing through that, getting them to the Super Bowl is huge. If he wins, another thing, I think you got to respect him taking down Andy Reid, taking down Patrick Mahomes. I think that's huge for him. I think people will want him to stay longer if he wins. If he loses, again, critics are gonna be after this guy. I don't understand why, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're hearing fans get rid of Sirianni, like, if he loses, which is fucking stupid, but that's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, Philly fans are ruthless. Like, that's That's just a fact. Really, I would say that Sirianni's legacy at Philly, I think it's similar to Hurts. You got to get a second one.
Yeah.
Because who was the last Eagles head coach who won? That
was fucking Doug Peterson.
Is that Doug Peterson? I was pretty
Doug
sure
Peterson.
And he won one, but you don't hear anything about. I mean, no
last
one.
Headline I heard was he fired. So
yeah. Doug Peterson's not necessarily up. Like, what's Doug Peterson's legacy, right? So really, I think he's got to win a second. I think he's off to a great start with the Eagles, right? Yeah. Being his second Super Bowl. Eventually, someone's got to break this stranglehold of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So whether that's the Niners or like that was a few years ago, or the Eagles now, or the Bills later, like someone's got to do it, and whoever's going to do it is going to be remembered. So
yeah, definitely, good point. Ken?
I think I agree with points that both of you said. I feel like this feels like a super important legacy game for Sirianni for his young career. Like being able to beat the Chiefs and revenge yourself from 2 years ago and give Philly another ring is huge for him. I think a lot of people don't like him. A lot of, like myself as a Cowboys fan, think he's a very cringy coach and don't like the guy at all. But yeah, a lot of respect. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, right?
I think it's just 2, but
2 and 4. But yeah, to get over the hump and get this one for him, I think is more important. Because I agree with you. I think if he loses, Eagle fans will call for his head, which is
they've been calling for his head all year long.
It's so dumb. Just
it's been multiple years actually.
Yeah,
too.
It's like such a spoiled fan base a lot of the time.
Facts,
it feels like sorry, Eagles fans, you are. And I don't feel bad for them at all. The way I saw them bullying Commanders fans after that game, but no, this is important for him to win in a big aspect. And I don't think if he loses, obviously he'll still be with the team, but I just think it's more important for him to win.
Yeah. All right. Last one. Andy Reid. Legacy for Andy Reid. Yeah. I mean, talked about GOAT for quarterbacks. Will he be the GOAT coach?
I'm gonna say that this would be 5 for Andy Reid. Is that right?
Does he have 5? Would he have 5? Did he win another one somewhere else? He never won one with the Eagles.
No, oh shoot, he didn't win one with the Eagles. I love those Eagles teams though. I really did. Okay, so this would just be 4 for him too then.
4 Super Bowl wins.
Belichick's got 6. Right?
Yep. Oh. Do we count assistants wins? No. Okay. Because he did help as a Packers assistant win Super Bowl over the Patriots.
Yeah. Was he OC?
He was. Yep.
But
I mean
Belichick has 2 though, right? As an assistant coach with the Giants. So or
does
Belichick he has 8 total. I know that. 2 as an assistant coach. So 6 as a head coach. So I mean,
was he a coordinator? Was he?
He might have been. I don't know what he
was.
We're
looking up all this shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
I think there's a better argument for Andy Reid being the greatest coach of all time than Mahomes. He had success in Philadelphia. He's had success at the Chiefs. He's built arguably the greatest dynasty of all time at the Chiefs. And his Eagles teams were really good too. I mean, they made how many Super Bowls with him? 2, 3? I'm sorry, we're questions, but
yeah,
I'd be willing to like hear it out, and I'd definitely be willing to like debate it. Like this is a real debate versus Mahomes, Brady, not yet. This is like if Andy Reid wins, it's here now. The question is Andy Reid more successful than Bill Belichick? And is that making the greatest?
Yeah.
I think
Bill did get 2 as a defensive coordinator with the Giants.
That's advantage, Bill. You got 2 as a coordinator.
I think Dodge and I are on the same parallel here with saying Andy Reid is closer to GOAT status than like Mahomes was to Brady.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Chiefs win last Super Bowl or make this Super Bowl without Andy Reid and the way he's coached this team, especially this year. In a lot of close games, I don't think they win those 1-score games without Andy Reid. So I think that's a huge, step up for him in that debate. But and I think Belichick, after Tom Brady left, he had a couple rough seasons to end his career. I think that kind of hurts him, which kind of elevate or evens out the field. I still think Belichick is the GOAT coach for what he did, but is very, very close.
Yep.
Belichick was doing good before Brady too.
Yeah, true.
Let's remember that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Belichick, I still think is the GOAT, even if Andy Reid wins this.
I mean, we could say offensive, defensive minds, right?
I was gonna say it's so different because Andy Reid is such an offensive mind, and Bill is defensive. But I think I don't know. Yeah, I still think the edge goes to Bill, but it's similar parallels to Brady and Mahomes. I think just inching closer and closer to getting to that.
So you're for sure that Andy Reid's behind Bill then.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
I'm not for sure on that.
Because, like, Bill has gotten to more Super Bowls, and I'd have to look up like the timelines on them both, but like I stand by the statement. He started coaching. He was a head coach for the Eagles starting in 1999. Bill Belichick started coaching the Patriots in 2000. So I feel like it's closer to head than Patrick Mahomes, and right now I think Bill is winning. I think there's a wider gap than I think is being given credit for.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and I give a lot of scrutiny. It's funny that it's coming from me because I give a lot of scrutiny to Bill after his years after Brady.
Yeah.
Right now, I think there's a decently large gap. Not large. Let me restate that. There is a gap.
I think we need to look at the fact that Reid has done it in Philly and at Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I think I look at that for Brady as a factor that he did it in New England and then he did it in Tampa Bay. Obviously, Reid didn't have a win, but with the Eagles, but that team was still really good, and it was really good for a lot of seasons.
Bill never got fired.
Bill
didn't get fired in the middle of his career, though.
Okay, he got let go. You got told to leave, Hunter.
Andy Reid went 4-12, and bye-bye.
Yeah, that's a knock. But I mean, Bill, what did Bill go at the end?
I don't know. The end was bad. It was not good. I agree. I see your point here. I see your point. There's some back and forth.
The NFL anymore.
What's up?
Not even coaching in the NFL anymore.
No, he's not.
I'm interested to see how he does in North Carolina.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're all in agreement. Andy Reid's not there yet. Mahomes isn't there yet, but they're getting there. So time's ticking. Okay, let's look at the weirdest bets for the Super Bowl. This that you can bet on. Will a player or coach cry during the national anthem? Yes or no for you guys?
Yeah.
Who's doing it?
Sirianni.
Give me Kelsey.
Ooh, I can see Kelsey. That's a good one. Huh. I'm going wild card here. Going Saquon.
Oh.
I want to know the bet on that, like plus 12,000. The yes for a player or coach crying during the national anthem is minus 430. So Okay. Next bet: will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift? Yes or no? No is the negative 950 bet.
Yeah.
Yes is plus 500.
There's
Okay.
some betting on that right there.
Yeah.
Will there be a power outage?
No.
Last time it was hosted at the Caesars Superdome, the game was interrupted by a power outage. There's no odds on this, but the same prop was on it last year, and yes was a plus 1,600 bet. No minus 1,500.
Yes. Imagine this place will never be used again if it does. So.
Okay. Any quarterback to record a reception? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no, but I think this is the more probable one. I can see Mahomes getting it tipped right back to himself.
I might bet on this one plus 1,600 for a yes.
No,
$5 on it on Mahomes getting a
yeah,
catch.
dude, that'd be. I mean, you
or a little Philly special.
Out of the two,
Philly special to Hurts.
I also like this bet too. Any non QB to throw a touchdown. Yes or no?
No.
Anyone want to guess the odds for yes?
Plus 550.
Okay, or Dodge?
Plus 800.
Plus 1,400.
Ooh,
I don't think it's gonna happen, but that is.
I feel like there's always a player that throws a touchdown though in the Super Bowl. Like the last couple of years, it seems like there's been like a Philly special, or the Niners did it last year.
Who would do it? Who would do it though?
It's a little Saquon Cincinnati jump pass. Goddard over the top. You never know.
All right, we got some more weird ones. Ready? Will a player leave the game and not return due to the concussion symptoms? I can't believe you can fucking bet on this.
Oh, I thought we were talking
betting on CTE.
I thought we were talking about Antonio.
Nope. Terrible.
Say it again.
Say what?
What's the bet? I thought we were talking about like a player would just take off his jersey, like Antonio Brown style.
Will a player leave the game and not return due to concussion symptoms?
Yeah. Someone.
Plus 120. Could win
one out of the 100 players.
All right. If the Chiefs win, will Andy Reid be dosed in barbecue sauce?
No.
Minus 1,500 for no.
There's got to be some insider information on that one.
I was like, that's a weird one.
Only minus 1,500 is crazy on that one too. Why is that? Why is that so low? It should be like minus 15,000.
Oh my god! You can bet on the number of beers sold.
No.
Over under 120,000
at the game.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah, let's go over.
Yeah, you got Chiefs and Philly fans.
1,500.
Yeah.
Under is minus 150. Okay, how many times will Taylor Swift be shown live throughout the game? Over, under 5.5.
Under.
I'll go over on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they have been showing her less.
But was their biggest?
It's a Super Bowl. I'll go over. I would go over too.
I'm going under. Under.
Ooh, my favorite one. What color will the Gatorade be that is dumped on the head coach? Purple, blue, yellow, red, orange, or clear?
Blue.
Blue is plus.
Not blue. It wouldn't be blue.
I got blue this year.
I'll go orange.
Yeah.
Orange color on there.
I don't know what I would go with. I don't know.
Either that or red. If the Chiefs win, it'd be red.
They don't do team colors though for either Gatorade. No.
Well then, orange.
So,
I think orange is
okay. All right. How many times will the chains be used for measurement? Over, or under 1.5?
Over.
Over is minus 110. Under minus 120. All right. And okay, here we go. I like this one. Who will the Super Bowl MVP of the game thank first? Teammates, coach, family, God, owner? Does not thank anyone.
God.
God is 3-1. It's got the best odds.
Yeah, God, 3-1.
We go family this time.
I'm gonna go Papa John. No, I'm just kidding. You remember that? Fucking Peyton Manning thanking Papa John for that shit was so funny. Woo. All right. All right. Well, that's it for the bets. All right, let's get into the picks, boys. Picks for the Super Bowl. Tell me your scores. Tell me why you think it'll go that way. Dodd, starting with you.
Oh, all right. Fair enough, I guess. I'm gonna go moderately scoring, and now I'm questioning my decision because 24-21 Chiefs.
Repeat.
Yeah, repeat.
This fuckery can't last that much longer, right? It's like the LeBron tweet. Knock on wood. I think the Eagles have to score more than 30 to win this game, and I think they do. And I think they're going to score 31, and I think they're going to win 31-27.
Ooh, okay. My pick, 31-29. Missed 2-point conversion at the end of the game. 3-peat for the Chiefs. It's going to end in controversy again.
Yeah. No, y'all had close games. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. And because of that, I think that's why the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that's also why I think the Chiefs are going to.
Yep.
I also had it as a low, moderately scoring game, which is another reason why I think the Chiefs are going to win. But I could see like the Eagles trying to push it deep, start, like we were talking about, or like trying to open it up, and it's just not completing. The completions aren't coming, and the offense stalls out, and then they go to the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else for the Super Bowl or for the pod?
There better be some good commercials this
Super
year.
Bowl
Man. I'm
MVP?
tired of.
What's up?
Super Bowl MVP?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, let's do that. Who's your pick?
Andy Reid. Oh shoot, who would my pick be? I mean, it's gonna end up being Mahomes, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think for it?
Going Kelsey. I think Kelsey goes off.
Going with the back judge for throwing the flag.
Dang it, Caden. Dang it.
I got Saquon.
Give me a weird one.
What's up?
Kareem Hunt.
Stop. Harrison Butker.
Imagine though, last second field goal. I could see it.
Oh, that'd be funny. All right, boys. Well, thanks for hopping on. Hope for a good Super Bowl. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope Dodge is wrong. And I hope Saquon brings home the trophy, but we will see in about a week. Pleasure having you boys on. Make sure you start studying up on your mock drafts because that'll be coming very soon. Hopefully early March is what I'm shooting for. So make sure you're studying up on your film. And as always, folks, stay logical and rant that nonsense.
Thanks for having us on, Hunter.
Yes, sir.